Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken Training. Today's training, what we're going to do, we are going to install an electrical outlet box. I purchased this off of Amazon. I'll have a link for it in the description below. But basically, it's an exterior wall. This is a stucco box. This is how big it is. So I got a tape measure here. Show you the depth of this thing. So the whole distance of the box is about 5 inches deep going that way. The height of the box is about 5.5 inches. You can see that right there. And anyways, it's this is a new construction box because I'm doing a stucco repair. Just purchased this, about $21 on Amazon. Let me show you the unboxing of it and what's going on with this right now. Alright, so this is the actual box, and it comes with this piece of paper. Let's see if we have any model number information on here. Like I said, I'll have a link for it in the description. Now the one that I purchased is what they call vertical, so it comes up like that. We got some instructions, and we got a couple different cover plates here to deal with, and we got some other stuff here too. Alright, we'll figure this whole thing out. And it looks like a grommet when I feed the cable through. But this one here, oh, and then here's the back of this here. So it shows you a picture of how the whole thing is supposed to work. Weatherproof, in-use recessed box. And we are going to be going into a stucco wall. So here's the two options when you go to purchase it. The vertical option that I purchased, or if you wanted to, you could use a horizontal option. Oh, there's the model number right there. I went with clear being the door. Here's the door right here, and I wanted to see what was going on inside the box. That is what I wanted, so that's why I got the clear. So that's why I did it that way. And I guess there's some tabs here that you could knock out if you were going to use it while in use, which is what this whole thing is about. It's an in-use recessed box. Now here they show you an installation into a brick wall. We are going to be going into a stucco wall. And this is some paperwork that came with it here. So apparently this is Arlington Industries, and they give you some different configurations on exactly how it's going to be installed. Now this is going to be our installation. We're doing new construction, so it's going to go on before the paper, before the wire for the stucco. This is how we're going to, how we're going to do it. The most important thing is the sealing that goes around this box or around here, because this is going to be the greatest area for a water leak source. But when we get the paper, we'll get into that. But we got to put this on before the paper. And then it also came with this second page here, which installation instructions. Using a protective tube. This is for masonry block, though. We're not doing masonry block. So I guess you could use this tube that came with it here, with this flange, like this, if you were going to do an installation on masonry block, which we are not. So let me show you our installation with this, and then we'll start going to town. Okay, so here's the job site. Now I did not install this wall. I would never install studs that crooked like that. I've done the I took out the stucco that was here because it had failed. They had buried the weep screed, which this is a weep screed right here. Right there, that's a weep screed. And right there, and they buried it, and it created a bunch of problems because they brought the stucco down, and capillary action allowed the water to wick up, and it just basically destroyed the stucco. So I'm fixing the whole stucco wall. You can see my channel if you want to see the exact whole video on how to do this. But this focus right now is going to be on installing this, and I'm thinking that we're going to go basically right here. Now when I put mine on, I want it to be level. I'm not going to go flush to the stud out of crooked. It'll be nice and level when I actually put the screws in. But I want to put a 2x4 right about here, so this way I can anchor on two sides of the flange, this side and on this side over here. So I got to put in another 2x4. So I am going to measure out right from here to here, from here to here, so I can get going and cut some wood and get this installed. And then here's the box. You know, what makes this so convenient with putting this right here is that here's the box right here, there's the power, there's my hole that I'm going to tap out. Yeah, as opposed to sticking it in that hole there, I'll just break out this hole here, kill this circuit on the breaker, and then that's where I'll get my electricity from. And I didn't do the install on this, but boy, these guys didn't do much stapling when they did theirs. Anyways, okay, well, but they did have a staple right there, which is within 8 inches of the box, so that's good. Okay, so anyways, that's where we're at. I just cut a stud, I put it in here, it's still completely loose, it's not even toe-nailed in yet. So, but basically I can put my my outlet here. Now I just have to determine, okay, do I want it down here, do I want it up here, where exactly do I want the height of this thing? Now there's a wire that's in my way there, so I'm a little bit restricted there on how high I can go. But let me go around the house and see if I can use another existing outlet as a reference point and see where that lands. Alright, here is the only factory installed outlet on the stucco, and the center point of this one here is about, well, let's just call it 14 inches. Alright, let's go, and that's above the finished floor there, so let's go check that out. The finished floor is a little bit deceiving here, so let's just say that this here is grade right about where my pencil is at. If I go 14 inches above that for the center, that would take me to right here as the center point, which would put this center point right about there. That isn't bad, but I'll be honest with you, I think I might go yeah, you know what, it's actually not bad. I almost want to go just about 2 inches higher though. I'll probably install it right about there. Let's just say 16 inches on center. So just let me go up 2 more inches, which would take me to right there. Let's see what that does. If I put that as the center point, it takes me to right there. That's not bad. So we'll plan on doing an installation right there. Alright, so we are going to go in here and let's see here. I figured that's going to be my center point. I figure I'll use this hole for where the yeah, definitely I think I'm going to use this one here for where the wire comes in and comes down into. So I'll take a pair of needle nose pliers and I'll pop this one right here. That's the top, yep. So that's where I'll take that out from. And there's a grommet here somewhere. There it is. So I'll take this grommet, which will be used for the cabling, And let's go ahead and snap that in, if we can. There we go. So that's good to go, so that way the wire can just feed into there. Looks like it's going to be kind of a tight fit, but it's okay. That'll work. Okay, so now I got that ready. We know we want this to be installed right there. And let's get everything else ready. I have a level here to make sure that the box gets installed the way I want. There we go. Okay, just like that is perfect. The stud is in there perfect. The box is going to wind up level once it's installed at that angle. So now let's go ahead and do a pre-drill and get some screws in and secure this in. So I got start with that one. Okay, I got 2 screws in, holding that in. I can put 2 more, but before I do, let me do another dry fit. Make sure that I'm solid and I didn't move anything. And hang on, let's get this. This is the center point. Get my level on top. Make sure that I can go level. Yeah, we'll be just fine. Right there. Alright, I can even leave that in place while I secure the other 2 toenails. So let me get them in. You know what, before I sink those last 2 in, maybe what I want to do is I want to have a piece, some blocking up here and some blocking down here. Let's see here. I'm going to have to, let me do this. This is going to be installed right there. Put the level on top. Get a nice level on this. Right there. Right there is perfect. Now, let's see here. The top of this is right there, and the bottom is right there. Take this off. Now, I need a 3 1/16 and 3 and just over 5/8, and let's see how big this flange is. This flange is just about 1.5 inches. Alright, so let me see if I can get a couple of strips to put right there. Alright, I made a couple of cuts here. Let's see if I did this alright. That's a little big, but I could probably get that to work. I just got to screw into it to give it some strength there, and also on the other side. Alright, so this one here for the top, let's go ahead and see if we can't do this. This is going to go here like that. The screw is going to go in here. That's putting a little bit of pressure here. Now, while I got that pressure, before I send that in, let me get a toenail on this to send that home. Let's get the one in on the bottom. is where we want to go. Okay, straighten that up, make sure that we're still good. Still get level here, and we can. Yeah, we're fine. Now, we want to send this in here. That lip might be a problem. Yeesh, let's see if it is. No, I left myself enough room. We're good. We're good. Put that in. That's okay. Just gives it a little bit of extra backing. We're totally fine here. We're going to be able to level this out, no problem. When I go to put it in, yeah, no problem. We got plenty of level room. We're totally fine in the way of level. I can go ahead and put these last two toenails in to secure this piece of wood 100%. Not that it's going anywhere, but whatever. This will just guarantee nothing's going to move here. That's totally solid. And we're good. Alright, now we got to get our cable in here, get it up so we can get it over to there. So, we're done with the pre-drilling. We should be good there. So let me put this aside, let me get some cable, and let's go to town. Alright, I got some cable right here. Normally 12-2 is yellow, but this is some older stuff, and it's white in color. Now, what I want to do is I want to feed it down through my grommet here. And we're going to have to, let's see here, I need to get it in there pretty good so I can strip it back. I got an outlet, a GFCI outlet right here. Normally you want to use a weather resistant outlet, but I did not have one in stock, so I have that one, so I'm going to use that one. It's just a standard GFCI. You always want a GFCI outlet on outside per the code. Also, you're supposed to have a weather-resistant outlet, but like I said, I don't have one. So now I'll feed this through, and got to get this out enough so I can work with it. I got to cut this sheathing back, and I need to have the jacket, about 1 inch of the jacket exposed on the inside here. So let me just see here. If I try to, the way this grommet is, you can push it in, but you can't pull it back. I just want to push in a little bit more while I got it. Okay. That's good. I can work with that. Now, when I go to put this in, what I could do is just feed it like this. Make sure I can get this in. There we go. Alright, so that will feed in. No problem. I'll just leave that like that for now. Let's see here. Can I take this door off while I'm working? I sure hope so. I don't want to break it. It's brand new. Alright. Let me just work with it like this for now. Alright. So now I want to cut this jacket back so I can get this outlet installed. Grab the ground wire, pull the ground wire through while you're holding the jacket, and you can pull it out that way. Just takes a second to get it started. And I don't want to break this box cover here. This thing's really bothering me, but like I said, I don't want to break it. It's brand new and I just spent 20 bucks on it. So I'm going to pretend that I can't take it off. Let me just make sure I can't. Yeah, it doesn't. It's very close, but it's not coming off. Just let it go. Okay. Let's get this thing out. Tough to work in this box because it's so deep. Alright. Maybe if I try to work with it upside down for now, and then just bring it right side up when I try to do it. Why don't I even stick a screw in here just to hold this box in place. Just trying to hold this down while I work. Alright. So I can not have to worry about this thing fiddling on me. Now, let's try to get this jacket a little bit more. Let's see if I can show you exactly what it is that I'm working with here. Alright. Showing you the box, the best angle I can give you, and I'm just trying to get this jacket back a little bit more, just using the ground wire to do that. Pretty much I got it right there, and I'm happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is hold the ground, the hot and the neutral out. There we go. I'm going to take my diagonal side cutters here, and I'm going to cut that excess jacket off. leaving the jacket exposed inside of this box. So this way, if an inspector wanted to see that jacket, he'd see that there was at least a half of an inch or whatever of jacket there. I forget what the exact code is, but they want to see that jacket, I know that much. Alright, and actually I wouldn't even mind walking that back in just a little bit. I don't think I can get it though. Let me just see if I can. Nah, just leave it. It's not worth it. Okay. You know what? That's enough wire. I can work with this. Alright, now all we got to do is land our wires here on our GFI outlet. When you're looking at the screws, let's just start with the ground one, because the ground one is the easiest one to do. So, let's see what we got. Alright, the ground one goes here. Let me get this on Phillips. And let's go ahead and loosen that up. And this particular style, you just put it in. So let me just straighten this out so it's a nice straight connection there. And let's go ahead and put that in. There we go. Seat it all the way down. Screw that in nice and tight. I don't have a torque wrench, I just have to go by feel. That feels good. Now, let's go with the black. Black goes on the brass screws. So now, which screw do we go on to? When you look at the back of this piece of equipment, it tells you line and load. We know that this is the line voltage. We're not going to have a downstream outlet daisy chained off of this doing load, so we are not going to be utilizing the bottom screws for this job at all. We are only going to be using the top screws, which is the line screws. So my black on brass goes right here, which is also the small spade right there. Strip this back. Now there's a strip gauge on the back of this to tell you how much this exact component wants, but let's just eyeball it here and let's just say it's right about there. And we want black on brass, and this is the line, and let's see how well this does. And that is really good, right like that. That's perfect. That is really, really good. Tighten that up. And everything's nice and secure there. Now the white one is the only one left. Can't really mess it up. Let's go ahead and strip that back. And go here, loosen that up. And put that in. There we go. And get that just right. I like it so that there's no copper showing on that side right there. This little bit of extra here I'm okay with. Tighten that down. Now my box is upside down. I have to flip it right side up. So when I want my outlet installed, I actually want this the other way around. So this is perfect. I'll put it in upside down and then we'll unscrew that and flip the whole thing over. Now, when I go to put my screws in, let me get my drill ready. What I like to do is I bring my wires up into the box and then down. I kind of make a little zigzag. So I'm going to go up all the way, then I'm going to go down, pushing them down into the box, and then coming back up. to make the to make it where this thing screws in. Now let's see. I'm going to have to put my head in front of the camera for a second. Okay, there's that one started. Let me get the bottom one now. Actually, hold up. I got to loosen that. I want to show you guys everything, but I got to also do the job. Hang on. Let's get that in. There we go. All right. Let me get the bottom one started. Oh, for some reason, my screws were in the wrong area. That's weird. That is totally weird. No wonder why it didn't work. Okay. Let's get this straightened out right now. Maybe I was going to lose them. I don't know. All right, let's try that again. Okay. Totally good there.
And do you still need to work for longer? It's after 6. What do you want me to do?
What would you like to do?
Well, I could do other things. I can walk Marley if you don't want to eat. I can walk. I don't know what time you want to have dinner.
Okay, that's 100% nice and secured, and it looks pretty good. Close the box so I don't break the lid. Now let's go ahead and take the box, flip it upside down. Okay, now we're actually ready to secure the box permanently, because I don't need this box to be moved again. I'm going to go ahead and put my level on it and get my screw gun ready. And let's get a nice level on here. There. Alright, we're totally good. And let's go ahead and put some screws in. Okay, that's one. Let's get another one in. We'll go right here. I just had some of these leftover screws, which are Hardiebacker screws. They're made for wet situation, so it can handle this exterior environment no problem. Okay, so we have a nice level box. We're good to go there. For now, I just have it screwed in with 2 screws. We have to take this here, and we have to bring it over, punch this out, and now come into right here is where we need to go for the next part of this project. So let me see here. I don't need all this cable. So let's see here how I want to do this. Let's say I want this much cable. That should be plenty for me to fish it in there, do the job, and do everything. So let me go ahead and cut this. That should be plenty. I'll put myself a little extra. Now I gotta shut this circuit off, poke this out, and go in that way. Okay, we're inside the house. There's the outlet that I want to shut off. I got my tracer in there. Now we'll go back to the panel and use the finder to figure out what breaker it is. Alright, we're at the electrical panel. Turn the circuit breaker finder on. This particular one is an Ideal. There's the model number right there. And turn it on. Start at the top. Go down the panel. Start at the top. Go down the panel. Alright, how much you want to bet that's it? Okay, so which one is it? Let's see, there's 16, there's 17, there's 18. It's going to be 17. Alright, let's go inside the house. Alright, we're inside the house and that outlet is off. Let's go outside. Inside my pouch I have a circuit breaker finder, not finder, but a non-contact voltage tester. We turn it on. And that's just confirming that indeed I am dead before I really get into this. So we're dead. So that's good to know. Now that we're dead there, what I want to do is I want to open this hole right here. I'm just taking my needle nose pliers, making sure that I can get the wire in there, and I can. Actually, I'll start the wire like that, and then we'll go on the inside of the house, feed it through, and start working inside there. Let's get this in here. Come on. Okay. Now, let's do the same technique where we break the center of that. I don't have my needle nose, but I got this one. That should work. Grab the ground wire, which is the one in the center. I want to pull that one back. Oh wait, there's my needle nose right there. Grab that one back while we're doing this. Oh, boy, it's hard. This jacket is just hard to deal with. Alright, let's try this. There we go. Now, let's take and cut this back. Grab my black and white wire here. Make sure I got plenty of room. And that should be enough room for me to work with. Cut my jacket back without cutting the white and black wire. Get in there. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to have to create a pigtail for the grounds. So leave the ground for now, because I got to do a pigtail. Now for the black, what I can do is I can utilize the junction box of the outlet. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take this, strip it back about to there. This is an older style, so actually what I need to do is strip it back further and then create a loop like this. Then what you do is you loosen up your screw and make sure that the loop is going in the direction of the way that you're tightening. That's per code, and that makes sense. That's the way it should be. Pull that in taut and then tighten it up, and as you tighten the screw, it'll bring it in nice and tight. There we go. See that? See how that tightened it as I did it? It's perfect. Same thing with the white, and then we'll do the pigtail with the ground. Loosen that up. Get this one back here. There we go. Now, this one's got to go that way, so this loop needs to go this way, just like that. Put that on, hold that in tight, and then as you tighten the screw, that'll tighten everything in taut. There we go. Nice and tight. Everything is good. You can try to wiggle it just to make sure you're on. Actually, I'm going to just try to bite that one more time. Just make sure I'm in there good. There we go. Just didn't look perfect. I'm just a little bothered by it. I want it to be just right. I don't like the way it's looking to me. I'm going to do is just, I'll show you. I'm going to get this in here and hold that in while I bring that wire around, just to get that a little bit tighter. Alright, we should be just right now. It's the best I'm going to get it. Okay, now let's do our ground pigtail. Loosen that up. And there we go. Alright, I gotta go get another ground wire, and I'll be right back. Straighten this out just to get everything ready. So I'm going to need a ground wire, and I'm going to need a wire nut. Join these together. Okay, we have a pigtail. Usually this is for commercial metal boxes. I don't have a metal box right here, but what I do have, let's see here, what I can do is just cut this and give me some green here. And we'll go with a red wire nut. Put these together like this. Bring this together like this. always try to pull back the wires. Everything's good. I'm not going to have an issue with this wire nut. Now we need to get this wire nut on here. So let's do a loop-de-loop right here. Like so. Just bring that in just slightly. There we go. There we go. Get that in taut. Okay. Whites are good. Blacks are good. Everything's good. Got a wire nut. Now we got to cram it into this box. That's probably going to be the hardest part. Push everything back. I go down. Try to create a little bit of an S pattern here. I think I got it though. Alright, make sure that's in solid. Alright, we totally look good. Make sure that cinches in nice. The outlet is a little bit tweaked on me here. Might be the best I can get, because of the way it's forced in there. Alright, before I turn the power on, I want to do a couple of things. I got an outlet cover here, and I want to make sure that the outlet is going to go in properly before I turn the power on. So I'm just going to unpackage this, not lose the screws, and make sure that this is good to go before I do the next step. Alright, and it needs to be tweaked a little bit on the bottom. That's why I wanted to do that now, before any electricity was on. I'm just going to loosen the bottom and scooch it over to the right a little bit. There we go. There we go. Let me make sure that will work. Okay, that will work. Okay. Now let me get the screws to put it on. Okay, come on. Oh shit. And there's the screw right there. This is a hard box to work from because it's so deep. But we'll get it. We will get it. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's the bottom screw. And let's get the top screw in there. Okay, that's totally good. Now, I also got some staples for this cable. So, let's see if we can't put a staple in and try to meet code here. I forget exactly how many inches we are supposed to be, but we are supposed to be a certain amount of inches to this, to the box. So let me just try to get this up and over here, and if I can, try to get a staple in right here. Just to put one in. Do I need it? Is it going to make a difference once this is all buttoned up? No. But I'm right here. I got it all opened up. Let's try to do it. I'm going to have to hold that with my needle nose. There we go. Wait a minute. Okay. There we go. Let's try to put that in. That's in. Alright, let's call that a day. Okay, we're good. Let's go turn our breaker on and see if we did this properly. Alright, here's our panel. We are on breaker number 17. I'm going to use my left hand. I'm going to step to the side of the panel, and as I flick the breaker with my head, I'm going to turn away and not look at it, because if the thing is going to pop, it's going to pop at that time. Here we go. Okay, it seems to be solidly reset. Let's go check our outlet. Alright, we're coming over to our job site here. Doesn't look like anything's on fire. That's good. Let's see here. We got a circuit tester here, and we are probably off because they come in a tripped position. Let's reset it. Okay. And the LED is on. Let's go ahead and pop this in. Now, if I wired it correctly, the two amber lights are lit up. Tells you on the legend right there. Let me show you that legend real quick. There's your legend to tell you if you've actually wired it properly. And if you saw that, it was wired correctly. And there's a little test button here. Let's depress that and we should hear a little snap, and we did. That's telling you the GFI is working properly. Hit the red reset button and it just snapped back. It just re-engaged, so it's back live and we're all powered on. Let's go inside the house and just double check this outlet here. I highly doubt there's anything wrong, but as long as I touched it, I'll check it. Okay, here it is. Let's plug it in. And we're good. We got two amber lights. That's exactly what we should be looking at. Alright, now we got to put the screws in to fully anchor the box. And I'm going to put 3 screws here, 3 screws here, just to give myself plenty of strength for this installation. This is not going to go anywhere, as they say. And one more right here. Alright. That's 6 screws. This thing is so solid, it's not going anywhere. Okay, that's it. Here's a close-up of the installation. You can see all the screws that I put in. And it's pretty. It's nice. It's really, really nice. And it's going to be perfect for this application with the stucco once it goes up on the wall here. Okay, that's going to conclude this portion of this project. Please check my channel if you want to see the full series on how I did this complete repair. Oh, plus, let's not forget to mention the waterproofing. Now that the electrical box is in place, I got to put the insulation in the wall. Then the D paper has to go on. Then the wire mesh paper has to go on for the stucco, and then the stucco. Plus, I got some wood trim I got to put in there too. So please check out my channel. I hope you liked the video. Please click on like if you did, and subscribe to my channel, Ken Training. Catch you on the flip side.